Hi, I'm Sue.
And I'm Mel, and this is Manifesting with Mel and Sue. We are going to be talking about
Affirmations
today.
All right, so this is your favorite method of
is.
manifesting.
It is.
It's definitely right up there for me because I use affirmations literally. Every thought I think is an affirmation.
Exactly.
I'm not joking with you. Like, that's how aware I am of my thoughts. So what is an affirmation?
It's basically just a statement of you're affirming something that you want. It's a statement of, so you can affirm, I have lots of money. Anything that you say, anything that you put out there like that would be considered an affirmation.
Yes. So an affirmation is basically a thought that you decide ahead of time.
Yes, exactly.
And then you may or may not repeat that thought. And so the reason why we affirm is because it is our thoughts that are creating our reality. And the method of our thoughts creating our reality can be as easy as we have a thought and then that thought happens. It happens to me all the time where I will be maybe thinking of a person and they message me, or I think, oh God, I hope I don't get hit by a car, and then I get hit by a car. That never happens to me. It's never happened. But so it could be as simple as you think a thought one time and then it manifests. That doesn't happen with bad thoughts. Those are intrusive thoughts and they don't count. So, but it could also be that we have subconscious beliefs that are creating our reality. So in order to reprogram our mind with new beliefs, we would change our thoughts with new affirmations. And so when you have a new affirmation and you repeat and persist in that affirmation, eventually that affirmation will become a belief. Yes. So the reason why beliefs are important is because they control all aspects of our reality. So while thoughts can manifest instantly, usually they don't. And the reason why is because we have, generally we have beliefs in place to keep that from happening. So the reason why I don't get hit by a car when I think that I'm going to get hit by a car is because I believe that 99.9999% of the time I'm driving, I don't get hit by cars, right? And that's maybe not a conscious thought that I have, but it's evidence in my reality that I'm generally pretty safe in my car, and so I don't have to worry about it. And so the point is that it's our beliefs that create our reality, and to change our reality, we have to change, or to change our beliefs, we have to change our thoughts. So
how do you change your thoughts?
By affirming, right?
Exactly.
So the law of assumption is basically that your assumptions are creating your reality. So what is the difference? Do you know what the difference is between an assumption and a belief?
Probably not. I probably can't articulate it quite the way that you do that would make as much sense, but an assumption they're basically beliefs.
Yes.
They're both beliefs.
I would say, I don't know what the actual definition is. In my mind, a belief is something that you already know to be true, and an assumption is something that you decide to be true. So like when we meet a person, we create assumptions about them that may or may not already be true. So like, maybe I meet Mel, and the first time I meet Mel, I'm like, this chick is fucking awesome. That was my thought the night that I met Mel.
I was gonna say.
And is it any wonder that she's like one of my best friends now, right? Because that was my assumption about her. Whereas another person that I met, maybe I felt like, oh, they kind of were snobby or rude to me. Maybe they're a rude person. Whereas maybe they were just having an off day, but I created this assumption that wasn't true, that if I persist in it, could turn out to be true in my reality. So an assumption is something that it's basically a belief that you're creating if you're not careful, or intentionally creating if you're affirming.
Yes.
So let's talk more about affirmations. There are different types of affirmations. Can you tell me about some of the different types of affirmations that you've used?
Okay, so I use the types that I use primarily are obviously self-concept. I use a lot of affirmations that are geared towards me. So self-concept is how you perceive yourself.
Yes.
So if you perceive yourself as the ugly duckling, like I'm not beautiful, then that's kind of like what you're putting out there. And so it would not be surprising to get people treating you the way that you see yourself. But
to interpret their behavior that way because that's how you see yourself.
Exactly. But if you go around with the assumption of, I am the most beautiful one on this planet, nobody's more beautiful than me, then you're going to start seeing that reflected in all the people around you. And it's not going to be a surprise because that's how you perceive yourself. Another type of affirmation is affirmations for a specific person. Typically, a specific person is somebody that you're interested in, an ex, or somebody that, it could be a celebrity, it could be somebody you've never met.
It could also be someone that's not a romantic interest as well. It's any specific person in your mind. Like this affirmation is about this one person.
Yes. So it could be a friend, it could be a stranger, it could be somebody, it could be a celebrity, not necessarily a romantic relationship that you want to have with a celebrity. But, if you want to be a friend or whatever. Other affirmations would be physical appearance. You can change your physical appearance with affirmations. What else? What am I missing?
So I think that covers a lot of different areas of your life that you could affirm for, right? Mm-hmm. And if we can go back to self-concept,
yes.
I'd like to add on to what you said, because you're right. Your self-concept is how you see yourself. What a lot of people don't realize about self-concept is it's also how you see the world around you. So if you have an assumption, for example, that all men are afraid of commitment and love.
Yes.
And you might end up running into that when you're dating. That is part of your self-concept where, it's your place in the world and the people around you.
Which is an affirmation. It started out as an affirmation where you believe the assumption is that all men are afraid of commitment. Right.
And I think that there are a lot of assumptions that are created like that we inherit through like other people or from media. Like there are a lot of assumptions that we would hear over and over again that become a story in our minds that maybe we don't even realize. Like we just absorbed it and we don't realize that it's manifesting like that one until you realize that you have that belief. And then you're like, actually, all men want love and commitment. Mm-hmm. And that's the truth.
See how easy it is to just flip an assumption and an affirmation?
Yeah. And I think it's even easier, and maybe this goes back to my beliefs, and it probably does, because guess what? Everything in this world is based on my beliefs. I think that it's easier to affirm that all men are that way than to affirm for a specific person, because you're not... I don't know. For some reason, it's just more effective for me.
Yeah.
To generalize.
It is.
Because I'm overwriting this fundamental belief that I believed all of my life, and not just about this one person.
Exactly. And you can do that in any area, with any topic. Mm-hmm. It covers everything. I think what other affirmations are there?
So we have ask-formations.
Ask-formations.
So yes. That is when you are affirming by asking a question. If you're asking, why do things keep happening to me? I mean, it could be either good things or bad things, right? If you're someone that's like, why does this keep happening? Or why is everything going wrong? Or why is everybody just radiating love and joy to me? Like, you can choose the question, and your subconscious, because throughout your life, whenever you ask a question, your subconscious is always looking for the answer for you. That's what it does. When you ask a question, your subconscious checks your brain and tries to come up with the answer for you.
Yes.
Like, where did I put my shoes today? And then you think about it, and then you either come up with an answer or you keep looking. But But that's what your mind is trained to do. So when you ask a question, why is this happening? Your brain is going to try to find evidence of it. And if it doesn't have any evidence, if you keep asking it, it's going to keep looking until it shows you evidence.
Exactly.
And then you could just keep building up the evidence.
Exactly. And the thing that I love about affirmations or affirmations is affirmations. It sounds a lot like affirmations. Is if you're struggling to manifest, I think typically what people, at least in my experience, and I think kind of in yours too, is what they struggle the most with is an SP, which typically is...
No, I don't struggle with that.
No, we don't, not anymore. Is an SP or money. And so when people are, if you find yourself, if you're affirming for either one and you find yourself kind of having that resistance or, struggling a little bit and it's hard to believe it. And again, you don't have to believe your affirmations when you're saying it, but if you're struggling with that and you feel like it's kind of holding you back and making it take longer, an affirmation is a great way to do it, because when you affirm, my SP is so in love with me, and then, but in, your brain is going, oh, but they're not showing it. They're not this. They're and you start rationalizing and you try to reason with yourself. But if you ask the question of, why is my SP so in love with me? Why is so and so obsessed with me? I wouldn't recommend the obsessed one. That unless you have the assumption already that it's not really a two-way street.
Can I just add on to what you were just saying? Yes. When you ask yourself the question of why is my SP so in love with me, what you can do in that moment is you can give yourself the reasons why.
Oh yeah.
Because he loves everything about me, because I am an amazing person. Turn it back on you.
Which, that's your self-concept.
Yes,
now you're affirming
yes.
your self-concept.
Yes.
But your brain, when you ask a question, if I say, God, Sue, why are you so beautiful?
Because I'm the most beautiful woman in the world,
exactly.
And I affirm it all the time.
Exactly. But you're not like, if you say that about yourself, why am I so beautiful? Your brain is not going to try to rationalize or reason other than it's going to be like, oh, she's asking why is she so beautiful? Now it has to show you evidence of that.
Right. You don't immediately go to, I'm not beautiful. You try to find something beautiful in you.
Yes.
Right? Because your brain wants to prove you right, because you're like the god of your reality, and so you're always right. And so because your beliefs create your reality, you're always right. So the great thing about that is you can choose the thoughts that you want to be right about.
And I love to, I'm all about challenging these techniques or these different ideas. I do it all the time. I challenge myself and I say, oh, I'm going to try it and see what happens. And pretty much every time I get the results that I want, because you are not, you're experiencing without the attachment to the end, I guess. If you're like, oh, I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to see if it works. Not, oh my God, I'm going to do it. It has to work, or else, you're not going to go into that whole tizzy of, at least that's my personal belief. But I feel like when you start focusing on, if you don't think you're beautiful and you want to, or handsome, it could go either way, for the guys out there. If you don't think you're handsome and you're like, just keep saying it over and over again. I am so handsome. I'm so handsome. Why am I so handsome? If I'm so handsome, it's hard. Why am I so handsome? Why am I the most gorgeous guy on the planet? Why am I the most gorgeous girl on the planet? And the more you do it, I feel like, at least for the affirmations, you're not going to have resistance if you are with the affirmations, because our brains are wired to
find the answer.
You're not going to sit there going, oh, blah, blah, blah. Why, this is this. You're saying, why is it true? And your brain's like, this is why. So that was my long-winded explanation.
I love it. And I agree. Of course I do, because you're me pushed out. So I think that's it for affirmations for today. Please drop your favorite affirmations in the comments below, and share, and subscribe.
And don't forget, go out and manifest that dream life.